before we went on break, we had quite an engaging interaction with the directors of 3 exciting short films in the Arise Play INDIEVIEW series. And right now, with us to expand the conversation are 2 creators of the INDIEVIEW film series, Richard Spiropoulos and Ovueraye. Richard is the winner of 2 Emmys and Peabody Award. He currently judges for the Emmys and has been judging short films and documentary format for 8 years. He has also written and directed several documentaries and news packages, as well as line produces one of the biggest morning shows in America. Ovueraye is a writer, producer, and director, as well as CEO of Endgame Media and Film, media and non-profit veteran of 20 years in New York. Welcome, guys. Good to have you join us.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Ese is right here in the studio with us, and we'll start with you. We have 9 winners already in the INDIEVIEW Short Film Festival. How has it been? And what's the game for these winners?
It's first of all, thanks for having us on, and it's been a blessing to partner with Arise Play Movie Box, because what it has done is infused greater interest in the movement, as we like to call it. INDIEVIEW has now grown online and grown in viewership and membership of our community, so that's been a real boon to us, and we're growing much further and much faster. Our intention is to get a truly global impact by the end of the year. This has been our first quarter with the Arise Play competition. Okay. We've gotten 9 great shorts. You guys have had the interviews here, which have been great and engaging.
I don't know them.
So it's been really a revelation to participate in this short film movement. Yeah. We've gotten more and more short films, greater and greater quality. The thing about it is it's kind of like a mirror to society, as Shakespeare would say. INDIEVIEW produces all these shorts by the young and the newcomers as well. They don't have to be too young, but they tell you the story that's going on with Nigerians in general. Okay. And well, at one point, it's kind of a warning sign, because a lot of the shorts are about major issues. It's very rare to get one like Bloodline that's trying to tell you a story, a superhero African modern story. Yeah. The rest of them are appeals to the public about what's going on in Nigeria in so many fields, from, of course, rape to abandonment to slavery to all kinds of things. Yeah. So INDIEVIEW is really great for reflecting the society, and as well as teaching the youth about filmmaking. They come together, we try to do workshops, we try to get them to elevate their filmmaking, explore the passions and possibilities and pitfalls. And it's been a great growth program. This is our first quarter in. Next quarter, we have a great plan for the end to expand it. We're going to do a deluxe INDIEVIEW exhibit version. We'll come out of Freedom Park. We'll look for a really nice location. Really? Yeah, somewhere maybe an exclusive location. It will be an exclusive event because the location will be smaller than Freedom Park. Okay. So we're trying to get that to show other aspects of society, what's going on with the filmmakers.
Right, sounds really exciting. Of course, we'll look forward to that. But let's bring Richard into the conversation now. So let's talk about the inception of the INDIEVIEW Festival. Let's talk about the origins of it. What inspired that? And of course, we also want to know what informs your choices and selections of short films. What do you look out for?
Well, when we're looking out, well, first of all, thanks for having us. Coming all the way from here from New York. It's wonderful to be able to speak to you guys and be able to speak to Nigeria as a whole on the filmmaking, especially with filmmaking, about the filmmaking industry and exactly what it encompasses when it comes to selecting genres. When you look at a movie like Bloodline, that's an entire movie in itself. It's a mini epic in just 15 minutes. You look at the wonderful representation of imagery. You look at the limited dialogue. You look at the great visuals, the representation of camera work, the fact that you're using theme music, very limited speech, and you've put together an entire movie in just 13 minutes. You already have that there, and that's already put aside. Now, films like this or movies like this that were actually made, you didn't see many of them coming out before. And that's one of the collaborations with Arise that I think actually works. You have filmmakers that needed to be recognized. They were maybe either marginalized before or didn't have the necessary funding to be able to get that movie out there as soon as it was made. What INDIEVIEW and Arise Play are actually doing is giving them a platform for them to be able to get their voices heard, to be able to get their work seen, and to be able to put Nigeria back on the map when it comes to short films and when it comes to movie making in general. Like the real prize we're talking about here is international global office. The international box office is where it's at. That's where most filmmakers are trying to go. Now, we have movies and films that are being made in Nigeria right now that are enjoyed by Nigerians, but we're trying to translate to the international stage. And this is where storytelling, great storytelling, great writing comes into play. We already have great visuals working right now in Nigeria. You have great camera work. You've got the techniques down. The fundamentals are down to a T. But you see, when it comes to translating these stories from things we enjoy to things that will be enjoyed by every other country, whether it be broadcast, whether it be streaming, or whether it's the theater itself, translating that particular story to a narrative that actually encompasses or brings in or draws in the rest of the world is the narrative that we're trying to tell right now. And that's where INDIEVIEW comes in. The idea was to build a platform, build a community of filmmakers, independent filmmakers who are trying to tell stories in so many different ways. We already have one film industry in Nigeria that's telling stories in one way, but there's a vibrant, thriving, bustling community of young people, old people, filmmakers, young and old, coming together, coming up with good films, coming up with great stories that are trying to get it out there. And what we're doing at INDIEVIEW is bringing them in. We're trying to build this community where they all come in, where we put them on this platform and we think about how do we get these people's work out there? How do we get these filmmakers recognized? How do we get their stories told? So what are we offering at the end of a year of working with INDIEVIEW for these filmmakers to know that we actually helped facilitate or expedite their journey either towards superstardom or wherever it may be that they're trying to go. And that's where we are. That's the collaboration that we're talking about. As I just talked about a deluxe, INDIEVIEW deluxe event that's happening 3 months from now. This first quarter of this collaboration, this work with Arise Play has opened the door, it's opened a pathway for so many screenwriters, so many directors who are coming to us now with their work. And then you see the level of work improving gradually from when we first started, from the first movies that we showed to where we are now. You look at a movie like an epic like Bloodline, you look at Flesh and Spirit, visions, from dreams to visions, visions to forms. You see writers using speech, using masquerades to be able to tell short stories in 3.5 minutes that you think, how am I going to get this person to work? How am I going to get this person's work out there for the entire world to see? Like, as parents, you sit there and you say, your child comes and asks you for the key of the Benz. You're not going to give him the key of the Benz if you've given him the 504 and he crashed the entire left side. That's not going to happen. So you want to sit there, watch how these filmmakers react with these short films that they do, and find ways to either partner with them to work either with a big studio, work with another director or another storyteller that helps to facilitate their work and bring it out there until they get to the level of recognition that they need, where their names are on one film and it goes straight to the international box office. So that's part of INDIEVIEW's work. That's part of what we're trying to do. That's why the collaboration, I think, with Arise has worked profoundly well within this first quarter. Like, now we're looking towards the second quarter to see exactly where we push it to. And that's where the bigger events come in. We continue to sponsor this ourselves for this INDIEVIEW event that we do every month. The next event is more for industry professionals, more for big studio execs, more for big studios, streaming networks coming in. That's what we're planning to do in October. We have chefs coming in from people that we know, Master Chef, Top Chefs, people coming in from the US to come out there and show. So it'll be an exploration of food and film. So this is what we're looking towards the end of the next quarter, after we drive more and more traffic towards the platform and increase credibility, increase name standing, increase your general outview in Nigeria and the diaspora and across Africa itself. When you've built that buzz, where we're going to next is to have this film festival that encompasses food, which is great creations from chefs, tapas, small finger foods, and film. We bring in the best filmmakers that we've had so far and have them to talk about their work.
Thank you, Richard. On that food and film note, we want to say, a big thank you to you. But let's say, because you are with us in the studio, just 20 seconds, what should we look forward to beyond what you have lined up in October that Richard has just spoken about in terms of the achievement, for those who have participated so far?
In 20 seconds, let's get right to it. It's the money, right? The filmmakers always want to get to the money. They want to be paid for their craft.
Yeah.
Short films is the first avenue. It usually comes out of their pocket. Okay. Our intention is to partner with major sponsors who are interested in the film market, the Nigerian market, and the film industry as an actual industry. Okay. And we would hope that they come on board with us and will be able to enable these short films to be made, features to be made after it gets siphoned through that, you know, and maybe an app as well, which we have in the works, where it can be disseminated at a free rate to the masses so it can be shown in Nigeria and the diaspora.
Thank you.
We want to thank you both, gentlemen, for joining us this morning. Thanks a lot.